What's up, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of Dev and the Bear. Today we're joined by Carlos Nava, looking ahead for some boxing matches, potentially. Your last one just got canceled. How's it going?
It's going good. Staying active, busy, just waiting for opportunities to show up.
Yeah, everything going well, though.
Yeah, we're healthy and, motivated. Always staying on the grind and just waiting for a fight date,
Yeah. Your last fight, you looked great. With the body shots. I mean, it's Mexican boxing at its finest. It was aggressive. It was relentless. It was really good.
Thank you. I was really trying to go, body was, my main, concern this fight, because I didn't really go to body my first two fights. It's like, all right, I'm going to start working that body this time, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it only took, was it 2 rounds?
Yeah, 2 rounds.
So,
without giving away too much behind the scenes of what goes on over at your gym, so is working the body something that Coach Vasquez likes to kind of implement into y'all's training?
Yeah, he's really strong on going to the body.
Mm-hmm.
We train on that every day, and most of the fighters there, they train with body shots.
Okay.
And I'm always getting hit to the body over there, but he says that I need to input that more in my style, and that's the reason why I started going there. It's because more of that Mexican style,
Yeah. Beat everything up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what was I gonna ask you, dude? Something that we were talking about. It's illegal in boxing. Fuck, what was it? Oh, so there's this type of hold in jiu-jitsu, and we talked about it. There's this guy named Sean Strickland. Was rolling with this guy. They were grappling. He's grappling with some world jiu-jitsu champion and shit. And so how sometimes y'all tie up in boxing, someone usually has the underhook.
Yeah.
Is it illegal for you to kind of whip into it if their arm is under, kind of almost you're trying to snap their arm,
It is illegal, but
Yeah.
since you are so tied up.
Yeah.
you
I
can
don't think
disguise it.
you can disguise it. The ref can't really see it, and some people like to put their weight on them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what Fury did to Wilder.
Yeah.
He put that
Yeah.
weight on him the whole time, the whole fight. I think that's why he got tired. And some people like to squeeze them up,
Yeah.
squeeze your arms up, and it just hurts you right here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, whenever I get clinched up like that, I just rolling my shoulder and keeping that elbow in their face. So
Yeah.
if they come in and they gonna come into my elbow.
Yeah.
And so I know that's random of me to ask you that, but I've been I've almost texted you that asking because I've been because I asked Zach, I'm I wonder if that's illegal in boxing, which I'm sure it is,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sure it's very illegal because he could fuck
Yeah.
somebody up. But
Yeah.
If not illegal, I'm sure it's frowned upon.
yeah.
That. I think that was somewhere along my response.
Hey, we're here to make money, not make friends. Fuck that shit. And
Yeah.
what's it called, man? So with your last fight, man, you beat the shit out of that dude. It was a one-sided beating. Pretty much, it was a classic Carlos Nava fight. And so, kind of walk me through that. So the first round started off, y'all were kind of going back and forth. He's kind of toying with you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When are these fighters gonna stop gonna learn to stop trying to fuck with you in the fight?
I don't know. I'm just, he started at the weigh-ins, he blew me a kiss on the weigh-in, the face-off, and that really kind of, put a fire in me.
Yeah,
So I was like, all right, I'm, the type to let my hands do the talking. I don't really want to talk mess, at
Right.
the conference or face-off. So, whenever we were in the ring and, they made us face-off and touch gloves, I could just see in his eyes, he didn't want to be there no more,
yeah,
So, I knew his spirit was gone. So, whenever the first bell rang, I was just testing him out, testing the waters, and you could tell he just wanted to move around.
yeah,
So, I started, throwing my shots pretty hard, the first round. All my shots were stiff the first round.
yeah.
My jabs, my hooks. And I seen that his head was, he was taking my headshots pretty good,
Yeah.
So, I was like, all right, the second round came, and, all right, I'm going to just go to the body this round. So, as soon as I hit that body that first time, he went straight down, so it was over after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was right there. I was I had my camera, and he went down right in front of me. I was like, oh, all right. Take some pictures.
We happened to be well, I got some pictures too, and what happened to be right next. I guess it must have been your family. Did they get a VIP table over there?
Yeah, they got one of the tables.
And so I think we were standing right next to them. Whenever I feel it was a perfect spot for for the whole fight, and so I was able to get the body shot you dropped him with, and then after that, when the last body shot you dropped him with as well. But yeah, he tried to do some kind of some ollie footwork and shit,
Yeah.
and then Zach was telling me because he was walking around the ring taking pictures that like the guy's corner was telling him like, dude, like this isn't a street fight. You have to box him.
Yeah,
like
they were yelling at him like, "Hey, take it seriously, cut that out," and he wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
he's a fucking killer. Stop. Like you gotta quit that shit. But nah, man. So yeah, like I remember watching that though. I was like, damn. But like,
Do you think that they don't take you seriously? Like they just don't have enough to look at since you're still kind of early in your career? Do you think that they just don't know to take you seriously yet?
Probably. I probably don't look intimidating or nah. Probably because I'm just like a rookie or a prospect coming up, and they think like, oh, he's just gonna, be average. But like from what everybody tells me, like they said that I don't look like the average fighters like that are usually like fighting. They said that I have like something special or potential to like take it as far as I want to take it.
Yeah. Which I mean, talking to you, you're very humble, very down to earth, but you know what you're talking about. And I mean, I'm sure you goof around plenty. Everybody does, but everybody's got to. But you're very focused when it comes to boxing, and when you're in the ring, it shows. So yeah, I was kind of confused by it whenever he, like early on when he was doing it, you've got to fill people out. You got to see what you can do.
Yeah.
But then he was doing it in the second round, and he was doing, like he was saying, the ollie footwork thing, and then he like tried to put his hands down and move his head around and dodge your hits, and
he got dropped like right after he did that shit.
Because he did it, and whenever he leaned back, he missed one of your punches just barely, but he backed himself into a corner that way, and it's like, yeah, man, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah, I don't know what their game plan was, but there was some punches that were like he was trying to play like he wasn't like ready to throw it, but then he actually threw it pretty hard, and like I felt something like just slide off my glove, and like I didn't want to get hit with that, so I usually was keep my hands up. I usually have my hands out sometimes, but this time like I was like, all right, I don't want one shot to hurt me,
Yeah.
And then I think it was after that first knockdown, I kind of seen that his whole air intake or his solar plex or his liver was still kind of hurt.
It's
so
contracted.
Yeah, he couldn't like get his full energy back.
Breathe. Yeah.
Fully breathe. And so when I trapped him on that rope, I was letting them headshots go, and then finally I seen this one opening to that solar plex, and then caught it, and that's when it kind of just took him down.
It was real solid work. So.
Yeah, no, it was nice, man. So like when it comes to that, like, would you say that I mean, because all around you're very offensive, but like when it comes to your defense, like how strong, how much are you big on like perfecting that?
I think I'm pretty big on defense. Like in the amateurs, I was more defense than offense. I told myself in the pros I wanted to have more offense as much as I have defense.
Yeah, match the intensity as well.
Yeah. But when I have to, I will definitely bring up my defense side more. And shoulder roll and move out the way, get out of harm's way. Like kind of like Mayweather. Like I don't want to take so much damage and come out the game with like head damage and stuff like that.
That shit's rough because like we talked about Mickey Ward, former pro boxer. He's like he has CTE. He's talked about it, but he's like took a lot of shots. Like he really rarely ever covered up like his head. Like he's known for going to war with people. Like I think we had talked about his fights with Arturo Gatti. Like if you ever have time to go back and watch those, like those guys, dude, there's a reason why like those dudes like had brain damage just because they threw caution to the wind, just went out there and threw down. And so I think it's kind of cool though watching that there's kind of the change in pace with boxing though. Guys are also they're being offensive, they're also being like there's strong defense now. You got somebody like Gervonta Davis, he doesn't really get hit that much. Like when he does get hit, he gets hit clean. Yeah. But his defense matches his offense as well. And so yeah.
And then using defense as offense. Montana Love in his last fight, his counter striking was awesome, and that's I'm blanking on the name of the guy he fought. It's a Russian former champion, but anytime that guy would throw something, Montana Love was just out of reach and then popped him. Yeah, and I mean, the game's definitely growing again in boxing, and I think you're kind of right there. You're kind of riding that wave too. You're one of the people changing it.
I'm trying to, what's it called? I'm trying to display, like, my own, I would say, art of boxing, I'm trying not to be I'm not trying to be a runner or always on defense. I want to also, like, attack, counter attack, and then move out the way. I don't want to stay in the pocket too long, but if I see he's hurt, then okay, I'm gonna let all my punches go. Like I told my dad, he was one of my biggest critics, so that's why he was like, "You did good, but at the end you kind of opened up," and I had seen where I opened up, That's when I knew he was still hurt though.
Yeah.
So, but he's right. Like someone like that was a higher level than this guy, he probably would have faked being hurt and then just came back with the win.
There's a fight, Sam Stout and
Pete Sell.
And there's a fight in the UFC a long time ago, but one of them gets hit with a body shot and he like ducks down real quick, backs up, and as the guy runs in there, he just pops him with the overhand and puts him down.
I think he broke a rib.
Yeah.
He was like legit hurt. Like he wasn't even faking it.
No.
Yeah. And like he what's it called? The dude ran in with him towards him with his hands down and just got fucking his you saw his jaw just go to the other side. He falls down, he's out, and then he wakes up, he's like, I'm good. They're like, no, you're not. And then he's like, but look at him, and the guy who knocked him out's on the ground. They're like, I think you broke a rib. Like it was wild, man.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where like, yeah, he was hurt, but if you have your hands down, all it takes is one that you don't see coming. Those are always the ones that put people to sleep. But yeah, speaking of people getting put to sleep, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, third fight. We talked about it a second ago, and I definitely agree with what you said. I do think Tyson Fury's game plan was let Wilder throw his heavy punches and then kind of be in his face, lean on him, make him carry your weight, make him have to make it gritty without having to put out too much energy, without having to exert too much. That way in the later rounds you can put him to sleep, and that's exactly what he did. What did you think of the fight?
I thought it was an exciting fight. Probably one of the best heavyweight fights in a while.
Yeah.
I think Wilder did, like, he put probably put all of his energy and his, how would you call that, his guts on the line,
Yeah.
Like, he just stayed on it, but it wasn't enough to outclass Tyson.
Yep.
He was just too high class, too much IQ, boxing IQ, and he was just too smart with it. There were shots that kind of hurt Tyson, but he took him easy, I think,
Yeah.
What did you think of when Tyson got knocked down? Everybody's calling it the slow count.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I seen that too.
What do you think about that? Me personally, I think it's irrelevant. Tyson Fury was fine, so he was just waiting for the ref to get to wherever he was getting, and he was going to get up.
I think, in my opinion, I think that knockdown was just like behind like money. Like I think he wasn't really hurt, just to make it exciting,
Yeah.
But I think the knockdown on Wilder, I think that really hurt him though. That one was real,
Because he went down kind of slow. Like he was like trying to catch his foot.
He was out,
Yeah. Like because that's what I talked about with Zach was, because a lot of people were complaining about the slow count. And so, like, and one of the things I said is, like, I don't know the rules of boxing, like, the official rules. And so, because I know whenever you knock somebody down, you have to get to a corner.
Yeah, the white corner.
Yeah, and so you get to the corner, and then, but Deontay Wilder left the corner, started walking around. So the referee stopped to tell him, where do you get back to the corner? And I was like, and that's why it seems like a slow count, is because Deontay couldn't just stay in the corner. If that would happen, then he could have easily, then Tyson probably was still had his cage rattled a little bit, then he had to get up, and then I was like, but Deontay walked out of the corner, that's why they stopped the count for that.
Yeah, there's a rule where you gotta go to that corner and stay there. Like, and if you if you move, then the ref can like talk to you, or like he won't start counting until you get in that corner.
Oh, okay, so it's normal for them to stop the count like that. Okay.
Yeah, because if that's why I go straight to that white corner whenever someone gets knocked down. I go straight to that corner.
And at that level, that's something Wilder knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's I know that was something that a lot of people were freaking out about, and I was just like, I don't. Even if it was a slow count, Fury was fine. It's not his fault the ref took a wild count. He was fine. You can see it when he sits up. He actually never even really went down. He took a knee, so he rolled over and just sat there because he's like, well, they're gonna have to count anyway. So that old man
still had his legs. I think Wilder lost his legs like the 10th fight. I mean the 10th round.
Yeah.
9th round.
He was wobbly, man.
Yeah,
it was bad. That's what I told Zach is, there's this guy I was watching on YouTube who was breaking down Wilder, and he would constantly reset with his right foot, like the way with his lead foot, he would always reset with it. and Tyson caught the read, and but because Deontay was doing a good job working the body, and it was smart of him to do so. And I was like, damn, I expected him to try to go out there and get the knockout like he always does, because he always gets fucking good knockouts. But it seemed like the second he got dropped, though, it's just like all that training he's put in for the past year just went out the window. Like all the fundamental, because where Deontay lacks in the fundamentals of boxing, he makes up for in his power. Mm-hmm. And that's why he's able to do it, because sometimes some of the punches he throws, dude, are kind of ugly. Like, they're not the most technical, but they work for him because it's Deontay Wilder, you know? And so, but it was like the second he got dropped, it was more like he was like, I have to get this guy out of here. And he was just so focused.
In his head,
it fucked with him too much. And it got in his head, and he just, like you saw a lot, he was crossing his feet a lot, he was dropping his hands a lot and stuff. And it's like, man, like, it's Fury's fight now, you know?
That's like day one stuff that you get told, never cross your feet, ever, for any reason.
He kind of got unfocused, you know, once he got knocked down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it was a great fight. Maybe a lot of people didn't see Fury getting the knockout, but I think a lot of people saw Fury winning. However, Anthony Joshua and Usyk, blanking on his first name, Alexander Usyk. Did you watch that fight?
Yeah, I watched that fight.
That was a pretty good fight too.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
But man, does it mess up everybody's fantasy fight of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Are you excited to watch Usyk and Fury fight? Do you think they fight? I think they do.
I think they do, yeah. I got Usyk outboxing him. Like, just like
he
being
looked
faster.
Good. Yeah. He looked real good. He looked athletic.
I don't think he'll let Fury, like, wrap him up, you know? I think he'll just stay moving. That'd be a good fight.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying now Wilder and Joshua should fight. I feel like that would be a pretty interesting fight. I feel like that's a fight I've wanted for a long time.
Yeah, that'd be exciting.
Because Anthony Joshua's got great technique. Mm-hmm. He's pretty well-rounded as a boxer. And Wilder makes you make mistakes because you have to worry so much about his power. That's kind of what he relies on. Mm-hmm. But one thing I saw that people were, whenever they were talking about the fight with Joshua and Usyk, is that Usyk made Joshua make mistakes. And one thing was he kept ducking. He would feint the duck, and then Joshua would kind of duck down with him. And it was like, okay, well, now Usyk's got him at his reach. So he just faked him into taking his reach advantage away, and now Usyk can capitalize on that. And that's how he landed so many of his heavy shots. And if you do that against Wilder, you're going to get knocked out.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be an interesting fight, too, if it does happen.
I want to see Wilder fight Ruiz.
That would be good.
I think that'd be a really fun fight. And those two guys would just throw down. And so...
Especially now that Ruiz is, like, in a completely different physical shape.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Did you see his tattoos? He's, like, covered in tattoos now.
I've seen that.
he got that money, man. He said, fuck it, I'm going to cover myself. He's like, I ain't going broke anytime soon. He tattooed my neck. Fuck it. And so there was some UFC fighter, his name was Renato Moicano, and like he was always really good, but then something like is obvious at the weight cut, because MMA weight cuts are pretty dangerous, and the guys don't really do it right, and he the weight cut got to him, and so he decides to go up to 155. Beforehand though, he was already on a losing streak, and like you can make money in other promotions, but you won't make as much money if you're not fighting for the UFC or for one championship. And then this dude comes out, fucking neck is just blasted with a tattoo, and I was like, this motherfucker better win this fight. And I think he got knocked out, and I was like, god damn it.
He did.
Yeah. And I was like, shit, man. But I don't know, tattoos are dope though. I fuck with them. But
we know that you went to the Fury fights recently. Was your first MMA event?
My first, yeah.
What'd you think?
I thought it was brutal. It was way worse than boxing.
It's definitely different. We've gone to a lot of MMA events, but so far all the boxing events we've gone to have been really good.
Yeah.
So I'm not disappointed at all. We've said it several times on the show, but the first fight we went to we saw of yours, those fights were better than the MMA fights that night. And that was like Adesanya and Vettori, so that was supposed to be like a highly anticipated fight, and it just wasn't very good. So I mean,
you watch anime?
Anime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Ryuji Arasani is like really big. He's a fighter. He's huge in anime. Like he's got like the nine tails from Naruto tattooed on his stomach, and he had what else does he have around it?
I don't remember. He's got a bunch of Naruto tattoos. I know that he has 2 cars, and both of them are designed after Naruto characters. It's got their names on the license plate.
He has a McLaren 357, and he got that because there's 357 episodes of Naruto. And it's like fucking decked out. It's orange and has like a blue like a hood, I think. And he's like, I only got that car specifically made for me because of how many episodes of Naruto there are. He's a huge fucking weeb, dude. I think it's crazy. But
what kind of anime you watch?
I like Dragon Ball Z. I like what's the other one?
Fake fan.
Like people have been putting me on a lot of new ones that I've been recently watching.
You ever heard of Megalobox? Not to put you off thought. It's a boxing anime.
For real?
It's pretty good.
I haven't heard of it.
Baki's cool. You ever heard of Baki?
Yeah, I heard Baki.
Yeah.
I actually watched this one.
Baki's real good.
Yeah, I really like Baki.
The one of the boxers from your last fight, Chaz, Chaz Harrison. I'm blanking on the last name. I'm so sorry, Chaz. But he's actually a really big fan of anime too. Dragon Ball Z and Baki are 2 of his favorites. Baki's awesome. Definitely get into it, man.
You watch One Punch Man?
No, but I heard about it.
It's pretty dope.
Trying to be One Punch Man?
I would want to, yeah. I want to.
But yeah, nah, that dude Chaz was cool though. Where's he train out of?
I'm blanking on Savannah, the Savannah boxing gym.
Oh yeah, okay, I know you're talking about. Actually, him and the other guy, they were pro debuts, right?
Yeah.
I had offered them a fight, my last fight. I offered both of them, B side and the A side, and they both said no.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
You're a dangerous man, Carlos.
People are ducking you already, man.
No one wants to take a shot, you know? Just...
Man, Chaz is nice. Don't beat up Chaz, dude. Fuck.
He's a character, man. He's been cool to talk to. But yeah, so I think he kind of he really likes Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not necessarily saying he models himself after Vegeta, but Chaz is jacked like Vegeta.
He's cut. Mm-hmm.
Would you ever try to, if you were to pick a Dragon Ball Z character, who would you model yourself after?
That's why I done my hair blonde.
Oh, okay. Super Saiyan?
Super Saiyan mode, yeah. Going through some phases right now.
Going through some shit.
Yeah.
No, that's what but yeah, no, that's what what's it called? I mean, we grew up watching that too, but I like Zach watches a lot more anime than I do, because like I try to get into like older ones like Cowboy Bebop and like Neon Genesis Evangelion, like those came out in like the late 90s and stuff like that. But I've always thought those are pretty dope.
Yeah, you should check out Megalobox.
Megalobox.
I've watched a little bit of it. I had my friend Garrett Fool, shout out to Garrett, always telling me animes to watch. And he told me about that one. He was like, yeah, this one's really good if you like, combat sports. Watch it. And I did. It's from, I think it started in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really good. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix or something. I'll send you some stuff for it. It's really fun to watch. But yeah, so.
You watch Squid Game yet?
No, but my fiance tried to get me into it. She got into it, but I was like, there's no point. Like,
dude, it's pretty good though, man. You should check it out.
I need to. Yeah, I'll probably check it out today.
I binged it in like a day.
For real?
Yeah, like legit. I was like, I'm a fucking loser. I just sat down and watched the entire season. And I don't know. I've been binging a lot of TV shows, and that's all I've been talking about with Zach lately. Like I was like, oh yeah, Shameless season 11. He's like, what the fuck? I'm like, Shameless is good, man. But yeah. But what else are you into besides anime? Like when it comes to like TV and stuff. Like you're a busy fucking person. Like I know you're very busy, so it's like, do you ever have time to like watch movies or anything like that?
Yeah. Decompress.
Yeah, my fiance, she usually helps me do that. She's like, let's watch a movie or let's watch a show on Netflix. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, and I just relax. And a lot of those
lawnmowers outside.
A lot of those documentary, shows and movies on Netflix. I like those a lot. Like those people that kill people.
Yeah.
It's just interesting, and what else? I like looking at old fights. Like
Yeah.
looking back at old legends in the boxing game.
Yeah.
Try to study them. That's how I do my homework. I just see what they did wrong or what I could do better than them, and also like try to pick different fighters and get that style and get a piece over here and put it in my like arsenal, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch Evander Holyfield's last fight?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was your thoughts on that?
I thought he was just too slow, just
Old.
Yeah.
old, you know.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I hate
wear
to
and
say
tear.
it. but
Yeah.
That's all it was. He's just too old. He
Yeah.
shouldn't have been in there doing that.
I don't know who sanctioned that fight, but it was
Yeah.
like frustrating watching. I'm like, who-
Actually, no one sanctioned
No one-
it.
yeah, they
no
lied
one
about
sanctioned
it.
Nobody?
They were supposed to all be exhibition fights, and none of them were exhibition fights.
So yeah, the thing is what happened was the promotion Triller, because they run a sketchy ass thing, and they
Yeah.
just like promotion is they advertise it as pro fights, and so what really happened was it was all exhibition fights, and they lied to the audience, they lied to the commission, because no one is gonna clear Evander Holyfield to fight, like because he's tried to come back in 2011 and 2014, both time he couldn't get the clearance, and that's how they were able to get him to fight, was saying it was an exhibition fight, but in reality it was really
these guys are going to go in there and knock each other
yeah,
out.
it was actually like they were advertising as a pro fight, but they were lying about it, and it's like it can cause they can lose a promoter's license for doing that.
No.
And I don't know, it was pretty sad to watch, and like Vitor Belfort was all hyped about it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you're jacked on steroids and you just beat up this old man.
Do you know
You
much
can't-
about Vitor Belfort?
No, I
They
don't.
call him
The
TRT tour.
Old UFC fighter. Early in his career, that he was an animal. And he still kind of was in the middle. He started kind of falling down,
Mm-hmm.
and then out of nowhere, he just got in the best shape of his life and just started tearing through people. A lot of his knockouts were head kick knockouts at the time, and everybody was just like, "Where is this coming from?" And then
He tore someone's retina with a fucking head kick.
For real?
Yeah, like that guy lost his eye because of it.
That sucks. He was on
and-
that juice.
oh yeah,
Yeah, this is
real bad.
This is before and after, like juiced, and then when he had to get off of it, because they banned TRT in fighting. It just like it's nuts. Or this is a better picture because it shows that it just aged him getting off the extra testosterone
Mm-hmm.
and shit. Remember that?
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's him. He was very aggressive back in the day, and that's never gone away.
Oh, and
his aggression is natural.
Yeah.
He's just a very aggressive fighter. So once he gets going, he doesn't stop, and he's always been that way.
and that picture was a year apart. Like
Oh.
yeah, it took. He was already in his early 40s whenever he had to get off of it, and that's when your testosterone like begins to decline.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but like Zach was saying, like he's a naturally aggressive fighter. Like that dude had a 20-second knockout. Like he was 19 years old whenever he won the first UFC, like one of the first UFC tournaments. Like
Oh.
he was on some shit back in the day too.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
to have been.
Yeah, everybody was.
He was a tank back then too, because he was fighting at light heavyweight.
yeah.
He fought Randy Couture. You know Randy Couture.
Mm.
He's been in like movies and stuff. Did you see the Expendables movie?
Yeah.
He was one of the white dudes in it. He was the heavyweight champion. He was a light heavyweight champion, and then Vitor came in there as like a 20-year-old, 21-year-old, and knocked him out.
And it was what's that? But he had, like Zach said, he had a natural aggression. But once he had to get off TRT, like you saw, like he would have it for 2 minutes, and it would just dump, and then he just like he would completely lose all energy. He was really, really susceptible to getting knocked out after that. Like
Yeah.
anytime he got touched, it would hurt him. He would like flop almost.
Did you ever see the Anderson Silva knockout where he throws the front kick?
Mm.
That's Vitor getting knocked out.
Yeah.
Everybody acted like it was crazy. That was the first time we had seen a legitimate front kick knockout.
Mm-hmm.
People have been doing that forever.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I was just a hater though. I couldn't stand Anderson Silva. So when everybody was hyped about his front kick knockout, I was like, go watch a Muay Thai fight. You see it all the time.
Yeah. No, that's But yeah, no, that shit. I don't know. They shouldn't let that fight happen, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, they I didn't know though after like looking into it that Evander's failed multiple like pretty much health exams to come back, because he's wanted to come back to boxing, and like he did an interview even a couple of years ago with Joe Rogan, and hearing him talk, like you could hear in his voice that it's starting to catch up all the head trauma.
Yeah.
And he's just getting older, and he's starting to slur a lot and stuff. But I mean, that dude is a heavyweight boxer. Like, there's no way you can get out of that weight class for doing as long as he did without something following you, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like whenever I found out he's fighting Vitor, I was like, fuck, dude, like that's not even fair. But they're actually gonna book Vitor Belfort and Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah, that was the original fight, and Oscar De La Hoya pulled out because of COVID.
Yeah,
COVID,
he got COVID. Yeah, and I don't know, man. After watching that, I think Vitor's got like 40 pounds on him.
Yeah, Oscar would not have looked good.
Oscar will I beat?
Yeah.
And it's hard to say too, though, because Oscar has just always been good. Even whenever like his decline in his career, he was still Oscar De La Hoya.
Mm-hmm.
But like just years of partying and fucking coke catch up to you after that. Like, look at Nick Diaz, the guy who just came back. He was a real well-known UFC fighter. He was offered like 6 years and he trained, but he also partied hard and was just like he smoked weed, which is it really didn't do that much, but he was drinking like every fucking week. Like TMZ would catch him out at a bar. He comes into this fight and then he took a body shot and he didn't react well to it at all. Like the dude punched him right in the liver. I'm like, yeah, that shit fucking caught up, dude. Like you can't live that lifestyle and expect to still be at the top, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
So, what you got next, Carlos? What's going on now? Now that you have opponent issues right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything going as planned, or you're trying to figure that out?
October 22, I was hoping to go out San Antonio and, get the 4-0, but some trouble came up. They're saying my sparring partner got hurt. Or no, my opponent got hurt in sparring, so he got out. So now there's this new opponent from San Antonio, and they want me to come out and be B-side to fight him. So that's how it's looking. So it's about if I want to take that risk, or they offer me another fight in Louisiana where it's going to be like a private show and, just...
Like Squid Game.
Yeah, a lot of people come in, and I can't have, like, any, like, of my people there, which kind of sucks, just...
Yeah.
But if it's just to go in, get a win and get out, it's just business,
Yeah.
Add a 4 to my record. Really trying to finish off the year with a 6-0.
You can do it.
That's my goal. I'm trying to do it. I want to get this fight, and then 1 November, and then, of course, that ticket in December 4th.
Yep.
So, it's possible.
How easy is it to get your pro boxing license? I wouldn't say easy, but how do you obtain that license?
Like, as in, like, just to get it, the papers and stuff? It just had to go through blood work and stuff like that, and pass medicals. Pretty much that's it.
I can fight you twice if you want. You gotta share a little bit of that bread with me though, because I'm about to get my ass whooped. Get you 6-0, dude. Fuck it. We'll make it somewhat exciting.
But I'm not in no rush to, go to San Antonio and be B-side, I'm not in no rush. I want to take my time, It's all God's plan. So hopefully next year we get it popping and, end up on Top Rank or Showtime or some PBC.
Yeah, considering also, like, you debuted in June, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was your debut. So considering that, like, by the end of this year, you want to have 6 fights. Next year, you're entering, you're still pretty much, like, you haven't even been a pro for a full year. And it's just, like, you're starting off the year fresh. You have all this extra time now to make more fights happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's more so just, like, a patience game, really.
Yeah, and staying ready,
Yeah.
If I stay ready, I don't got to get ready.
And so, like, how do you, like, as a pro, competing at a pro level, like, stay ready?
Well, of course, you got your strength and conditioning. You got your, your craft, which is like, can be boxing, Muay Thai, or whatever your craft is. Doing that every day just to, like, develop your skills better, and practice makes perfect. You're
right.
And on top of that, the extra work, like core work, abs, tightening your body, just staying like that every day. Then when something comes up, then you can just take it,
Yeah. And so I also noticed that you have been starting to post that you were doing private lessons. Are you still doing that?
Yeah, I'm still doing private lessons.
And so if somebody was interested in reaching out to you for those, like, how could they go about that?
Oh, they can just reach me to any of my platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat.
Okay, cool.
At He Dreams Boxing with 2 X's.
Cool.
You just hit me up and we'll plan something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You like training people?
Yeah, I like training people. I don't really do it for the money because, I got some sponsors that kind of, like, would set me up, like my opponents and stuff, that actually like put like thousands just to set me up, you know. So I'm not really in it for the money. More like I want to teach other people like my craft and like what I know, you know.
Yeah. So with since you've been doing, has it been pretty consistent with you doing privates and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do it low key.
Yeah.
I have a couple of fighters actually that are amateurs, and I train them low key, and it's paying off because I see them winning. You
Yeah,
know, just
for sure.
passing them the same IQ as mine, you know.
And then
That's
like
good.
has like coaching kind of brought you a different aspect of the sport since you're also still competing? Like you
Yeah.
see things differently?
Yeah, I see things different, like in a lot of different ways. I see it like in the amateurs. People look at that like, oh, like he's trying to help, you know, the younger generations and the kids, and like that's a plus on my side too, you know.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like I get to see some kid try to make a dream that I didn't make come true, like go to Olympic team or
Right.
stuff like that. Hmm.
So it's just a learning experience for both of y'all as well.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
cool.
And then also like there's sometimes where like I'll tell them to do a couple of things, and I'll be like, damn, like I gotta like work on that too, as well as for my craft, you know.
Yeah, because you
Mhm.
see something that's like they do something a certain way. It's like I kind of do it like that too. I
Yeah,
need to clean
so
that
I
up.
gotta fix it too. And, yeah.
Yeah, that made me think of a question, which made me think of also an interesting question. I was gonna say, if the time ever came, and one of these guys that you used to work with,
Mhm.
you used to train, came up and you had to box him, would you?
I would. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would.
You think it'd be fun? Or
I
you
think
you-
it'll be fun.
I think so too. My next question was going to be, because right now in the welterweight division in the UFC, there's two guys that it's just like they have to fight. Like where they're at in the rankings and the title shot picture, like if they fought, it would clear so much up.
Yeah.
But they're teammates, so they don't want to fight each other, and they're not going to. What are your thoughts on fighting teammates?
I don't know, cause it depends how long you've been training with them. If you got like years with them, then I would consider that like as like kind of like family, you know, like in
Yeah.
a circle. So I probably wouldn't, cause once you're up there and you get the money, you can easily get that like resolved, and you know.
Yeah, you can go
You
can
just-
always find another
Yeah,
opponent.
you can just go to the side, and so no, I wouldn't. If I had a teammate like that, I wouldn't. I would just keep that fight not from happening. You know, I just like, you say in this route, I say my own route, and we just push each other.
Yeah.
What if it's a vacant belt and you're both having
Like
a
for,
go?
like, the
I'm not
W-
trying to like
Yeah.
push and pry. I'm curious because me personally, it'd be fun. I think it'd be more fun to fight someone I know I can sit and joke with. And
Yeah.
Also, like the
have a good time
position
with.
that those guys are in, because it happens a lot. Like with Brazilians, they don't fight each other. They don't
Mhm.
like to fight each other because their nation doesn't like it. But like with us in the U.S., like we don't give a shit. We're like fuck it. And so like this guy's name is Gilbert Burns, and his best friend is Vicente Luque. He trains with Vicente Luque,
Mhm.
and like I think Gilbert Burns is number 4 and Vicente's number 5.
Mm.
And with how the welterweight picture is looking, 1 and 2 are about to fight each other. 3 and 4 are about to fight each other. Or no,
Is
is that?
Masvidal 4?
No, I think he's 6 now.
Yeah.
So 3 and 6 are about to fight each other. So 4 and 5 are just kind of like there. But
And
they're
both
like,
of them, Vicente Luque has for sure earned a title shot. Gilbert Burns just had one, and then he's come back with another win
Mhm.
over a top contender, what used to be number 5.
yeah.
So it's like both of them are right there for another title shot, and it's
Mm.
like,
And they're like, no, we won't fight each other.
yeah. And everybody else already has fights, so it's like, well, who are you gonna fight? There's no one here.
Well, me personally, if I was like going for my championship, I would be like fuck it, like we have to, cause like if you're in my way of my belt, then
Yeah.
just
And I think, again, this is just my mindset. I like both of y'all see it that way.
Mhm.
It should be more fun.
Mhm.
I feel like it'd be a little bit relieving because now you don't have to be like, I don't know how this guy's gonna act.
Yeah.
Like you can both just be like, no, it's gonna be fun because
Yeah.
we both want the same thing.
Mhm.
And even though we're teammates, it's an individual sport at the end of the day. You know,
they're
they-
not in there to fight it for you.
Yeah, and they
So-
should respect you enough to know that they don't want to like
Mhm.
slow down your path there by saying no,
Mhm.
and vice versa. So I don't know. That's just how I see. I'd be like, yeah,
Yeah, like I told,
fight anybody,
what's
it'd
up?
be fun.
Not only that, but like it probably brings in more money, like on the outside
Yeah.
view.
Yeah.
So,
hype things up.
mhm.
Like I told Zach, I was like, if we were like at that level and it's like, hey, like y'all have to fight each other. I told him like I would fucking fight you. Like you got if you want to be the best in the world, it is what it is. I was like, and you know, if you lose, I mean, it's one of these where it's like you still gotta support. You're gonna support your guy. You know, it's just like you'll probably see him at the gym's like, hey, motherfucker, you know, talk a little bit of shit, but it is what it is. Like, you just gotta come back better from it. Like, cause there's been guys like John Jones. Have you heard of John Jones?
Mm.
Good. He's a piece of shit. And so he really is though. And so John Jones, whenever he was up and coming, his teammate was fighting for the title, Rashad Evans. Rashad Evans gets injured. They offer it to John Jones, so John Jones takes it. And they're teammates. They're really close. And Rashad Evans got upset that he took the fight, and he's like, well, I mean, they kind of put me on the spot. It was on pay-per-view when they offered him the fight. Like, he just beat up some guy. They're like, hey, your teammate's out, so we're offering you right now, do you want the fight? And it's like on pay-per-view, millions of people are watching, and he's like, yeah, I'll take it. And it's like you kind of pressured him into it. But after that, after he got the title, John Jones and Rashad Evans had a fight, and it just created a big falling out. Rashad Evans had to leave gyms, actually ended up moving out of the state to a different state to find another gym. And the Rashad Evans career never really like recovered after that, because he just couldn't, like, the guys that he coached, like, they were his coaches, like they knew him best, and so he tried other gyms, but eventually, like, his career kind of went downhill, and then he ended up coaching himself, and then I think that he just found out that he liked coaching more than fighting and stuff. So yeah, but that's like a rare case when you see this shit happen.
Yeah. Again, I'm not like trying to pry or push. I was just curious how you see that. I know everybody sees it differently. I know, like, I think we had asked some of the guys from Metro that, and they're like, no, we're teammates. We don't fight each other. It just brings too much drama to the gym. There's no need for it. So I get it. But again, just I know it's my own mindset. It's like I don't see why there has to be drama. We're always chilling anyway, so you got to do what you got to do.
Y'all ever do smokers?
Smokers?
Can I legally ask you that? Can I? What's it called? Not that kind of smoker. So smokers happen in like MMA gyms. They'll usually get fighters who are like have like fights coming up, or like they have like they're pretty much guys that are like trying to become like an amateur fighter, licensed amateur fighter. So they'll like gyms will hold smokers to make a little bit of money. So they'll charge guys to come in, and if you want to fight, you have to pay, right? Yeah. Usually you pay for your spot, you sign a waiver. This is just a way for you to get experience before actually going in there and fighting as an amateur fighter. And it's like 80 to 100% like full force. Like you're actually fighting this person. Like, have you ever heard of boxing gyms doing that? Like, you know, like doing like almost like an underground fight almost. I've never heard of that. No. No. Yeah, MMA's a little trashy, I know. But yeah, no. Well, yeah, man, we'll go ahead and close this one out. You got any shout outs or call outs or anything?
No, but I have a question for y'all. What's up? Y'all got Canelo or Plant? Canelo. Yeah.
He's already 1-0, dude. Like,
I think before I would have been like, I don't know, Plant's so much bigger. But after Canelo's last fight, I was like, I don't think it matters.
After that fucking stare down shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The way that he. That's actually a great question. We'll end it talking about that a little bit. The way I like watched that like so many times. I know it was just a goofy little. You know, they got into it at a stare down, but the way Canelo's body reacted is like, I'm like, you don't get better than that. Yeah. Because he shoved Plant, and I mean, at that point, you know something's going to go down because Plant's walking back up to him. And then when Plant throws that hand, Canelo's body just like immediately was like, nope. Reaction. And then he throws back a 1-2, and I'm like, this guy's boxing is in his brain. He is boxing 100% of the time, 24/7. Even when he's not, like, that's what his brain is doing. So whenever Caleb Plant threw that, I was like, he's already out of the way before. Yeah. I don't know, man. It just tripped me out. I was like,
Caleb Plant was like, you know, I got one on him, he got two on me, so I owe him one. I'm like, motherfucker, that didn't land. What do you mean? Because like, it wasn't really like he threw a punch. It was like a slap. Yeah. He just like, it like rolled off of his head, and I was like, you fucking, who are you? Like, Neo?
I think he made a shirt where it like shows his hand barely touching him.
Yeah. Like really? Jesus. And but yeah, man, I don't know. Like after that, right there, like I told Zach, I was like, Canelo's already won, dude. Like if anything, this is just the rematch. Like,
yeah,
but
he got in his head.
Yeah, I was like, man, like but I don't see how Caleb Plant beats him after that, because it's like it already shows that you're too slow for him.
Who do you got?
I don't like Canelo, so I'm gonna go for Plant.
How come you don't like Canelo?
I don't know. I guess
Did we know this about you?
the fact that like no one can't beat him right now, or like he's picking his opponents, you know.
Okay.
If I was him, like I would be picking like top dogs, you know. Like
Yeah.
I want to fight you for this
Well,
belt, or like.
Do you respect that he's going up in weight every time to do
I respect that part, yeah. Or he could stay at one weight and like dominate that all the way.
Yeah, I'm always for it when fighters do that because that's just cool to me. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Do you think he sees it as like he's planning on retiring soon, so he's just trying to make things interesting?
Yeah,
and make
he has
more money.
He has too much money already, so
so
he's
much
planning to retire probably with all these belts after this one,
Yeah.
and then he's already creating his own promotions and gonna have his own little group of fighters, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would fight for him though. I would
You're-
definitely fight for him. I don't like him, but I fight
Or
for him.
we'll make
it
sure
go
he never
viral,
hears
dude.
this.
What's it called? Dude, who was that? Have you ever, like, you know how, like, they have Golden Boy promotions?
Mhm.
Like, have you ever heard the people talk about the recent thing has been, like, fighter pay, right?
Mhm.
And, so, like, what's that? So, Dana White and Oscar De La Hoya don't like each other. And Dana White was like, oh, really? I want to talk about payouts? He's like, let me tell you all the fucking Golden Boy payouts. And he's like, there were 16 fighters on that card. Total amount of payouts was $36,000. He's like, that means each fighter made $2,000 on that fight. And so, like, when it comes to Oscar De La Hoya, like, do you think that, or just like with the amount of money he generates in, like, do you think that's like good or bad for a Golden Boy promotion fight?
I think it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, he talked about too, like, who was that? He had like Dana White even pointed out, he's like, Canelo Alvarez used to be signed to him. He got the fuck out of there whenever he found out he wouldn't make any money with him. He's like, the only hope he has is Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is like, he better hope that dude doesn't fucking leave. But
He wants. I think he wants to. Probably
Yeah.
fuck Canelo. He probably got a plan. Like he better retire, so he wants to sign all these fighters. You know.
Yeah.
He's already in the same gym as him. You know. I don't see why not.
yeah,
Yeah. So you think Canelo will sign Ryan Garcia?
I think he would, because they're already connected.
Yeah.
they're boys.
I
I
want.
just don't like Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, I want to fight him.
You should.
I hope you do one day.
I hope I do.
Please.
I think I can knock
Put
him
him
out.
down.
He got
I-
a chin.
Check
Good
that
too.
chin. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think all he's got for him at this point is his speed.
Mhm.
And he's not active enough to really say otherwise.
Yeah.
So if he starts going and fighting people actually on his level or fighting up, you know,
It's gonna make
I
him
don't-
average. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's gonna look average.
Are him and Inoue in the same weight class?
Him and who?
Inoue, Noah Inoue. He's a
that
Japanese fighter?
Yeah, Japanese
Yeah.
fighter. I don't think so.
No, I
Well,
think
I'm not sure.
Inoue is smaller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia is so small.
That fight with Ryan Garcia was what's his name? What's that Mexican dude called? His new fight coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he has one set? I didn't
Yeah,
know he has one
they're
set.
gonna have it set. I think. I forgot his name. The one he fought recently. He had dyed hair and I forgot what his name.
Continue.
I don't know what his name is. I forgot.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia plays too much.
Yeah.
I can't stand that.
Mhm.
So fingers crossed one day y'all fight. I would love nothing more than that.
Mhm.
But yeah, so we'll go ahead and call this one. It was good talking to you, man. It's good catching up.
Yes,
What are
sir.
you about to go do?
I'm gonna go rest up and then go get ready to spar.
Some sparring. Back
Some
to work.
sparring. Back to work.
All right, man. We'll catch you next time.
Yes, sir.